Welcome back to Black Renaissance. Please welcome from MISSEY. MISSEY, it stands for Motivating, Inspiring, Supporting, and Serving Sexually Exploited Youth. Board member, Dr. Aisha Mays. Aisha, welcome. So glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Now, this is an organization, as someone who typically reports in Oakland, I've heard a lot about it, and I've gone to so many events where MISSEY was prominent, and is certainly always out there giving a voice for people who've been trafficked, and playing an instrumental part, specifically in Oakland, because Oakland has a very large sex trafficking problem. So talk to me about the need for MISSEY.
That's right. So there is a large sex trafficking problem in Oakland. In fact, in California, Oakland is one of the major epicenters for sex trafficking, especially of young women and young boys. And MISSEY has really been a leader since 2007 when it was founded to advocate against sex trafficking of young people. So we really we use the buzzword commercial sexual exploitation of young people. And MISSEY has really led the way in Oakland and throughout California now, with training other agencies that work with young people, but then also other lay people, like in hospitals and in schools, so places where young people are also being served to raise awareness around the issue of sex trafficking.
And what kinds of services does MISSEY offer?
So, yeah, MISSEY offers an array of services, from comprehensive case management, where we work one-on-one with young people who are at risk of being trafficked or who are currently being trafficked. Our services are for 12 to up to 24. We also have a mentoring services that is exclusively volunteer-based. So we try and connect young people with a mentor to help them see another way of life and to have a positive adult in their life. We have a great employment program, so providing alternative for young people to be able to take care of themselves. One thing we're very proud about is our Safe Place Alternative, which is our drop-in center, where young people who are identified as being exploited can come to MISSEY and have some support. Take place in a program. We have music program, we have a health program, and just have a positive environment for them to be in. The last thing we're really happy about is our training program that I mentioned earlier, where we're actually in the community throughout California training other agencies about sexual exploitation and how to work with young people who they feel might be at risk of being exploited or are currently being exploited.
It sounds like a multi-pronged effort. Not only are you actually reaching out to young people who've been exploited, but you're also reaching out to the community and sort of educating people. And I've actually, I think in Oakland in particular, there's been a lot of support coming from the district attorney, as we talked about. And during the Super Bowl, there was a huge focus around the possibility, the fear that sex trafficking would take center stage while that huge event was in town.
That's right. We really think it was important to work with the district attorney, D.A. O'Malley, and other organizations in Oakland to be proactive about the Super Bowl and the risk of increased sex trafficking during the Super Bowl. It was a really great collaborative effort with MISSEY and other agencies where we were able to raise awareness in the community, but also do some hands-on outreach to young people and raising awareness with young people about what might happen during the Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw, but down in Super Bowl City, we had volunteers working with young people, talking to people about the issue around sex trafficking that we know happens during big events like the Super Bowl.
That's fantastic. And speaking of being visible in that way, certainly I know in Oakland, maybe other parts of the Bay Area, but certainly in Oakland, around one of those problem areas where sex trafficking is central. It's International Boulevard. I've seen some of those billboards that your organization has put out, and they're powerful billboards, really making a statement about sex trafficking, and they're educational as well.
That's right. Yeah, it was another collaborative effort with MISSEY and the city to again, raise awareness and not to be afraid to talk about this issue in the community and the fact that we know it's an issue in Oakland and throughout the Bay Area. We're really wanting to focus on bringing this issue into the larger population. So not just with young people, not just with agencies that work with young people, but also our everyday community, because we know that all young people are at risk, and we really want to raise awareness throughout the community. And those billboards were very impactful. I remember friends coming to me and asking me about exploitation, about sex trafficking, because they saw something on the billboard.
Absolutely. You can't miss them. I mean, they're huge and they're sort of blunt. And so what is the reaction that you're getting overall from that campaign?
Well, mostly shock. The fact that most people living in Oakland and around Oakland had no idea that this was such an issue. They thought that maybe a few girls here and there may be involved, but not to the level that we know that young people can be at risk. So lots of questions and wondering how long this has been happening, and also really asking how they can become involved. And so one thing I think is really important is no matter what we do and what our profession is or what our passion is, there's some way that we can become involved with helping to advocate against sex trafficking in our community, so in Oakland.
And what comes next for MISSEY?
Yeah, so MISSEY is really committed to continue to train, increase awareness throughout the community, increase awareness in not only youth-serving organizations, but in all organizations throughout California. And so we really are focusing on our training institute. We are doing more around healthcare, and I'm talking about the healthcare needs of young people who are being trafficked, and learning more about health education and increasing health awareness among our young people who are being trafficked or at risk of being trafficked.
So sort of continuing to strike that balance between working with, local governments, working with, in the case of the Super Bowl, sports agencies, and also continuing to maintain that relationship with young girls or young boys who are being trafficked as well?
That's right. We really think a collaborative approach is most impactful. We know that we all have something to bring. We think it's very important to have survivor-led leadership, and so MISSEY was started by 2 survivors and 2 non-survivors. So really, that collaborative approach has been the mainstay of our program, and something we really want to continue. And then also just raising awareness throughout our communities and realizing this is an issue that can affect all of our young people, and so we really want to make sure that we're all aware.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Doing great work. For more information about MISSEY, you can log on to MISSEY.org. We'll see you next time on Black Renaissance.